Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how's it going? Brian Cusco here at Triple B. Today our guest is Mr. Ryan Sullivan of the Ivory Connection. You may have seen him online, Facebook as Ivory Mon King, and maybe seen some of his antics there. I think that video suits him very well, and you're gonna find out if I'm right now. You're watching Triple B TV. Basically, my whole point of doing these interviews is like let people shine, let people do their thing, and help bring awareness to people in the hobby. It started out being like teaching people about snake stuff, like little that care things and whatnot a little bit. Then I realized there's a bunch of people out there doing videos on care, and I just wanted to start focusing on people in the hobby.
Yeah, man.
It's a big part of the hobby is the people that are out
all
there.
you ever hear about is all the badness of the hobby. It's good to see somebody shining some good light on some good people too.
Yeah. It's one of my very first video that was an actual Triple B TV episode. I was super uncomfortable. But one of the points I brought up was that I bet there's lots of awesome people. I hadn't met anybody yet.
Right.
But I was like, I bet there's all kinds of tons of awesome people out there, like of all different shapes. And I think that there's always good to pull out of everybody.
Absolutely, man.
Like one of the things I really appreciate about you is your online presence. It's so brash.
Right.
I think a lot of people that follow you appreciate it's brutal honesty.
And I get the catch 22 on that. You got to be open to everybody. You kind of got to be friendly to people. But at the same time, my honesty has really built my name, man. It's built my everything that I do. People come to me because they know that whether they like my answers all the time or not, at least it's honest and truthful and what I really mean it. You know what I mean? For sure. And I think that's built a lot of my success, honestly.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I appreciate.
Absolutely.
And it's entertaining too, honestly. For me.
Really?
Some of the stuff is just like.
I know a lot of other breeders are like, man, I wish I could tell somebody that sometimes. You know what I mean?
Definitely times I was like, I remember I think there was one comment you made. I was like, dude, that is. Your sales tactics are mind-blowingly unconventional.
I remember that. For sure.
I was like, I don't know how that works for you, but somehow it's working.
Somehow it all comes together at the end of the day. I think what it really is, man, and I try to get this message out everywhere, is like, snakes don't sell themselves. This animal, being genetically whatever it is, does not sell itself. What sells snakes is passionate keepers who care about their animals, who create quality products because they put everything they have into it. And that's not something that, you can't teach that, you know what I mean? You can't teach passion or nothing like that. You either just kind of have it and it's in you or you don't, you know what I mean? And I've always had it for these guys, for sure, man. Absolutely. I think a lot of times everybody thinks, I get the question all the time, what's the market value of this random animal all the time? Well, market value has a lot to do with the hands of the beholder that has the animal and how much that person knows about that animal that's in his hands. If you're some random person on Craigslist with a random animal you've gotten from whobody knows, well, you don't have any information on that real animal, you know what I mean? If you have an animal straight from somebody who, this is all I do for a living, I see this animal every day, I can tell you when it peed the last time, you know what I mean? There's something special about that, man. I think that's what sells animals, man, especially higher end, higher quality stuff. They want to know that it came from somebody that cares about that animal, not that it's just genetically something special.
Gotcha. I agree, man. I'm glad you said that because it's more just last night. I had that blood python clutch that somebody just dropped, and I was in my head. I had a number when I'm going to price the babies at to sell them, and then I went to go check on Morph Market just to compare and see, and I was like, oh, this is less than I was going to price them at, and I was like, that's all right. I was going to price them where I was going to price them anyway.
I'm hired in VPI today. I would have never guessed I'd ever have a snake on my table higher priced than VPI, but that's what I think this animal's worth today, and that's what I'm going to ask for it. And if I take her home, it will not hurt my feelings one bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And Ivory is obviously something how did Ivory become the thing that you were?
When I was first really getting into the genetics of things, and Ivory Berm was one of the first snakes that really just caught my eye. I was real good friends with Tom Regan. He was one of the first people that shook my hand. He took my hand and he just walked me through everything. He was like, this is how you do this. This is what this animal needs. And if I had a phone call at 2 a.m, Tom picked up the phone and fucking talked to me, man. And that was a big thing. And those first Ivories that had the blue eyes and they were white with that creamy yellow dorsal on it, I'd never seen anything like that in my entire life, and it just grabbed me. And then always in the back of my mind, I had it. You know, I go to these shows all the time. I travel all over the state. Even when I was just a hobbyist, I'd attend 30 shows a year, you know what I mean? And it always seemed to me like, Ivory stood out on people's tables, and you never see like a whole table of just white snakes. To me, if you walked up to a table and there's ivory berms and ivory retics and ivory bloods, and somebody just really specialized in this ivory thing, and they got a whole table of white, dude, that's gonna draw people that have never looked at a blood python before. People that don't even know what a retic is are gonna go, what are all these white, blue, and black-eyed snakes? You know what I mean? And that's something cool to me, man.
That's cool. That's something Sean brought up the point the Daytona show. He's like, you can walk around these tables and you can take all the names off them and just see the snakes on the tables and be like, this is this person's table, this is this person's table, based on the color palette they chose to work with.
Right, and that's cool when you can do that too, man. People that have really refined down, and this is what I enjoy and this is what I'm gonna work with. And I think it's a hard part of the hobby too, that like all the time I get this question too, what should I pair? What should I breed to this if I wanna make money, or if I wanna be successful, or if I wanna make sales? None of that matters, man. What matters is like, find you something that you enjoy, find you a line or a lineage or a color or whatever it is that really draws your eye, and then just focus on making that the best that you can make that. If you do that and you make a lane for yourself and carve it out, you'll always be successful that way, man. This ivory stuff 4 or 5 years ago, people had almost given up on it. They were like, it's a white snake, I could put anything else on top of it, I make the same white snake, whatever. I came in, I said, you know what, I don't care. I'm gonna work with this stuff because I really enjoy this. I'm gonna stack some genes on it. If they show through, great. If they don't, I lost the bet, no big deal. I still enjoy these animals. And the wonderful part about that story is I didn't lose that bet. The first time I cut an egg that was a new combo, that Ultra Ivory Motley, and I hatched a bright purple snake out of an egg that transformed into a cookie and cream Oreo looking animal, I was like, well, so much for the theory of you're just gonna make a white snake. And to date, I've made 7 world firsts now that are not white snakes. I've made pink snakes, I've made pink and yellow snakes, I've made stuff that people don't even see in retic colors. So I think a lot of it just becomes from being passionate about something, not being afraid to see a project through, even if you don't know the final result. Sometimes that's the best, you know what I mean? Win, lose, or draw, that mystery kind of adds some fun to the whole project, you know? It keeps you interested, it keeps you going too.
I can definitely feel your passion just sitting here talking with you, man.
For sure.
I mean, I can feel you anyway. Your online thing is so like...
I got a big male like that I'd sure like to sell because I don't have any use for him.
I've unfortunately got 3 big males like this at the house already.
Yeah. I guess the value, the price just went down.
Right, for sure. You have a good weekend, bud.
I think I don't know. You definitely got some charisma going on. I mean, they just started your channel recently.
For sure. People have been begging me to do these videos a lot lately, and like 2010, 2011, before I even had all this crap, I did some educational videos. And one of them in particular was a sexing video that went like stupid viral. It still gets passed around. People have been begging me for years to do it again, but as you can see, like you've got all this stuff you can kind of set up or whatever. I don't have no way to set up stuff and film in front. If I can't have somebody come film me, I don't know how to process it all and stuff. I can tell you all about how this snake works. I can't tell you how to turn your computer on. That's just not my thing, you know? So it's been hard to get it filmed, but now I have a buddy that just got out of school for film school kind of stuff, and he's been doing music programs and whatnot, and it's helping him apply the knowledge that he needs anyway, and it's helping me get my channel going, so for sure. And I thought it was a really good opportunity, like, to kind of show, hey, there's 2 sides of me that are very apparent on the channel.
That was, yeah, when you wear the hat and you go off, I mean, it's good quality entertainment, man. It's very entertaining, there's no doubt about it.
You know, I was a Alex Jones listener for a long time, you know. That Ivory Jones thing just came to me kind of one day. A good friend of mine, a good follower of mine, kind of was making fun of me, saying I was the Alex Jones of the retic world because I'm always throwing fits and whatnot, and I just kind of took that little idea and I ran with it. For sure.
Well, I do enjoy it, and as I mentioned to you on one of the comments, you know, I think video suits you, you know, because text is so much. I mean, you're so brash with your text stuff that many people could take that the completely wrong way and be like, this guy's an asshole.
The way you carry yourself doesn't get brought through a text message at all.
It's the reader that implies the emotion in there. But
100%.
But with yours, you definitely help a reader to be like, this guy is just a...
Oh, for sure.
But the video, like, you get to see how you're saying it and the way you're saying it, and especially your educational stuff is
right.
no nonsense, just like straight to the point, and it comes across really well.
And I'm trying to keep it that way too. I don't want a bunch of sensationalism. I don't want a bunch of extra information in there. I'm not even there to really plug and promote myself. I'm in there to promote good husbandry, knowledge about these animals, how I want people to care for these animals so they get to enjoy them the way I enjoy my animals, you know? The video stuff, it's not about marketing or any of that kind of crap. It's just really about giving something back to the hobby, honestly, man.
Yeah, well, I think that's, I mean, whether or not it's intended to be marketing, it's going to end up being good marketing, because that's the best marketing out there is when you're not actually trying to sell something.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
My damn hot sauce. You know, I started making this hot sauce just to kind of get through the winter, a couple slow months or whatever, and now I have wait lists for like $600 worth of hot sauce every show. That took so much pressure off me in these events. I don't, you know, my table's covered under hot sauce now, my gas bill. But if you had asked me 5 years ago what my big kicker was that was gonna come in and save the day, or what, I'd have never told you it was gonna be hot sauce. I've been looking for the $20 t-shirt or the book I was gonna sell or nobody reads, you know, like I was gonna do all that. I did swaggy things, posters and stuff. No, fucking hot sauce. Yes, ma'am. How are you? You can. You know, I'd rather you not hold this one. She can be a little grumpy. She really needs to be fully supported from underneath. No, ma'am, but you can pet her. She'll be friendly with you there like that.
Thank you.
No worries at all, you guys.
Thank you.
No worries. Y'all be good. Asshole Ryan over here.
That's what it's about right there, man.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about, dude.
People always ask me what my favorite part about these shows are. How are you? And to me, young kids and elderly people, that's who I want to put a snake in their hands, man. I want to change somebody's life today, man. I want somebody to go, oh man, this is a beautiful animal. This is something I can appreciate and respect. You know what I mean? That's what these shows are all about, dude. They're not about sales and, like I say, marketing, all that crap. They're about spreading the love of the hobby and keeping this an active thing for all of us. Absolutely, keeping it growing.
100%, dude. 100%.
You know, we don't educate the youth and keep people going and educate the elderly who vote. You know what I mean? These are important things to our hobby.
Well, I mean, I think I got out of this what I really wanted, which was you. If
Yeah,
there's
man.
anything else you want to say to the audience about anything in particular? Or...
Stay tuned, subscribe to the Ivory channel, the Ivory Connections YouTube channel. We have new educational videos every Friday. I have some other videos that'll be double uploaded some Fridays that are a little more entertaining. I rant about the hobby and various things within the hobby. Stay passionate about your animals, man. Learn husbandry and keep up with quality husbandry before you worry about breeding. I got a million messages I could throw at the camera, man, but I think we covered the good stuff, dude.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hell
You guys can go find his channel and you'll see what he's talking about.
Subscribe, get to the chopper.
Right on, too.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, very cool. It was nice to finally meet you in person too, man.
You
Absolutely.
too. Ryan, thank you very much for coming on, man. You guys can find the link for Ryan's channel down in the description below. And next week we're going to be talking to Mr. Eric White of TGR, and he's going to talk about some things, including like, you know, problems of starting up a big company that's taken off on you, and look at some animals and other cool things like that, like we do here on Triple B TV. And until then, you've been watching Triple B TV. Y'all take care. A camera crew is like a dream,
Right.
but I really don't know if that's actually reality.
Who can afford such a thing, right? It's like,
not
I'd
me.
love somebody to come clean my snakes for me every week. Hey.
Yeah, nobody will ever do it the way that you do it, you know? It's like-
Absolutely. What's
Hey,
up, brother,
good,
man? Good to see you.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, man. I seen your stinkier partners up here already. I had to go shoo them out to the car and unsmell them. Hell yeah. Yeah.
The funny thing about this is like, I'm way shorter
You're
than
short
you now.
because of the daylight shift. That's hilarious. Hell yeah. I like it. I like it. I never get to feel like this.
Hey man,
yeah.
that's a big part of like the channel, is like help people feel how they want to feel. I guess, right?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. That's hilarious.
Ryan, thank you very much for coming on, man. And Ryan, thank you very much for